Hello! This is the channel Learning with Angel, okay? So, in this opportunity, we are going to work on writing. Yes, writing, but we are going to study step by step how to write an argumentative essay, okay? So, please get your notebook, get a pen or pencil so you can take notes. Let's start. Some steps to write an argumentative essay. Very good. Steps to write an argumentative essay. Well, to begin with, what you have to do is to have an idea of what you want to write about. Okay, that's going to be the topic. When we have a topic or when we choose a topic, the idea, you have to know. You have to have some information about it. It has to be interesting to you, okay? Otherwise, you won't have much to say about it. Imagine you choose a topic that has to do with medicine and you are not a doctor and you don't like to talk about anatomy. And what can you say? What can you write? There is going to be a problem. In case that you know about medicine or you are a doctor, go ahead, that's good. Choose a topic that has to do with medicine. So I ask you to find something that is of your interest. Maybe you can think about something you do every day, a business, something you study, etc. Okay, that is going to be your topic sentence, your idea, your main idea, the topic. So, as I said, if it's something that you know about, there won't be any problem because you can say things and different things from different points of view and you can discuss that. Number two. What is number two? It's written here, narrow down in case it's too general. What is too general? The topic. Think about it. Nowadays people want to write about cell phones. Just like that, cell phones. But the big question is like, you will write about cell phones. Yes, I will write about cell phones. Okay, what about cell phones? My favorite cell phone. I don't know. I don't think that's good to do. We have to think about something that is going to be really specific. Okay, so in this moment we are going to give you an example. Let's write an example. We have here, let's say, we want to write about animals. Who loves animals? Do you have animals? Okay, probably you have a pet, a cat or a dog. Most people have cats or dogs. So we want to write about animals. So that is my topic. You are thinking about animals and okay, there is nothing wrong to write about animals. But here I suggest to narrow down because animals are, to write about animals is too general. Too general. What do I mean when it's too general? We cannot write on a piece of paper about animals. So to begin with, which animals do you want to write about? Where do these animals live? We have to think very careful about that. So if we want to narrow down, let's ask some questions here. Okay, animals. So there could be a question here that I am asking you. Where? So animals where? In Europe, animals in Asia, animals in where? So let's say we are in Bolivia in this moment. So animals in Bolivia. Great! Animals in Bolivia. We are going to talk about animals in Bolivia, but we still need to narrow down a bit more. For example, animals in Bolivia. There are different kinds of animals. So here the next question can be for you, what kind? What kind of animals would you like to write about? Let's say we are going to choose animals in extinction. Animals in extinction. What are we doing? We are reducing from general, reducing into something more specific, because when it's specific, it's manageable. You can manage that, all right? So, from the different animals that are in extinction, you may find information which animals are in extinction. You are going to choose which animal. Choose which animal are you going to write about. So, as an example, just as an example, we are going to take the quirquincho. Quirquincho. So, there is an animal that is in extinction in Bolivia, which is the quirquincho. Okay, how do you find it? From very general, we are going to something very specific, and when we have something specific, we are going to give the sense to our essay. So what am I going to say here? So animals in Bolivia in extinction, probably there are different places where this animal is being extinct. So we are going to write an area. This is just an idea, okay, for you, some kind of questions, so you can have an idea of how to narrow down. In this case, we will choose animals in extinction in Oruro. So what I'm going to write here is animals. So here in this part, in the last part, which is very specific here, I should have animals in extinction de Quirquincho, comma, de Quirquincho in Oruro. Yes. As you can see here, in this part, in the last part, I have something really manageable and specific. So you need to get to that point, and then we can continue with the next point. Why don't you practice? Why don't you start writing here technology, and think about machines that use technology, DVD players, Blu-ray players. Okay, what else can you say? Blu-ray players in, I don't know, in the fair. And you may narrow down some kind of ideas, okay? So you can narrow down transportation, you can narrow down traveling, you can narrow down a lot of different things. Well, step number 3. We have narrowed down animals in extinction, the Quirquincho in Oruro, Bolivia. This part is very important. Pay attention, we have to brainstorm. What is to brainstorm? To give lots of ideas about the topic. As many as the ideas as you can. Alright? So here we have animals in extinction. We said the Quirquincho in Oruro, Bolivia. But this part decides what your essay will be about. You can say animals in extinction should be preserved. You can say animals in extinction must be kept in special areas. Animals in extinction should disappear. Probably. I don't know. This part you decide what you want to do in your essay. As an example, I'm going to brainstorm an example that I will give you so you can have an idea how it works. Animals in extinction, I am going to say that should be preserved. When I say animals in extinction should be preserved, I have to defend my point that these animals should be preserved. Okay, so all my ideas are going to go towards preserving these animals. I can write, for example, I can mention the SOS, the association who takes care of animals. I can talk about how it's going to affect the ecosystem. If they should be preserved because the ecosystem is affected. I can write about the culture in Oruro, the culture. I can mention also that these animals look interesting. Why not? Look interesting. I can mention the authorities that have to do with the preservation of animals. I can brainstorm lots of things. Even you can get information from internet in order to find some ideas, all right? Because these are brainstorming ideas. So what do I do next? I have to develop in what way. So let's ask. In what way these extincted animals is going to affect the ecosystem? In what ways this is involved with culture? In what ways this looks interesting? So from these points, I just need to focus on three. Are you paying attention? Three points, because those three are going to be part of your body. Just pay attention to this. Introduction. First, the paragraph of the body, second paragraph and third paragraph of the body, and the conclusion. So these two don't count that much. These three are very important. So I need three good points that are going to help me support what I'm trying to say and persuade or argue, because this is an argumentative essay. 3. So here I have 5. I need to eliminate 2. This look interesting doesn't, it's not gonna help me so much, so I will eliminate this. And I can mix authorities with source. So this could be 1 point. Is that fine? Ecosystem could be just 1 point independent, and the culture can be another independent point. So, and I have to choose the 3 of them in order of relevance. Which is the most important point here? Which is going to give me the, the reason that I'm correct, that I'm right. To me personally, I don't know, everybody has the point, but to me the ecosystem can be something really important. And why number 3? I explain in a second. This could be number 2, and it could be I would say this could be number 1, and this could be number 2. I'm numbering this because I will mention culture as a first point. Animals should be preserved because the culture in Bolivia is very varied, and we have to show the tourists, the visitors, and etc. etc. Yes, I just mentioned as a first point. Then I go with something more relevant, more important, and I say the authorities in Bolivia should be really careful about these kind of animals, because if they disappear, the animal population is not going to be the same as etc. 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 You understand? And then I finish saying that if these animals disappear, the ecosystem, all the ecosystem will be affected. Yeah, you understand? There is importance. First, second, and third. Is that okay? Good. So far, so good. I hope there are no questions and you are understanding everything I'm saying. So let's continue with step number 4. Step number 4. Let's continue. In step number 4, what we are going to do is to brainstorm each supporting sentence. So, for example, we have as a point culture, yes? And in culture, you have to brainstorm. It's very important to brainstorm. Why the culture? We may say because of years we have shown to tourists in the political constitution we have of the state, we have that this animal Quirquincho is part of the plurinational state and blah blah. So we have here ideas. The authorities, what are the responsibilities of the authorities, what they have to do, the animal protection. I have to write many things. Here, different ideas. So why is this important to do the brainstorm? Because at the moment of writing, let's be honest, sometimes we are writing on a paper and we run out of ideas and we have no more ideas, and that's a big problem. You start with a lot of enthusiasm and you say, okay, I will write about this, and you start writing, and then you say everything in the first 2 sentences. Ouch. And there is no more to say. And when you do this and you number this, let's say point number 1, point number 2, and point number 3, and you give this number 1 an example, and you give them this number 3 an example, and this number 2 an example. So what you say is the ecosystem is terribly affected by the extinction of the Quirquincho. First, you have a point to say first, and you have here an idea, you have the example, you have 2 sentences there. Second point, furthermore, you have 6 sentences to write in your paragraph, which is great, which is so good for you to do. And you start here because this culture is your first composition. We said your first paragraph in your essay. The authorities will be the second paragraph, and this will be the third paragraph. That's it. So at the beginning you write your introductory paragraph, which is something that has to be very attractive. It has to attract the reader's attention. If your first paragraph is not interesting, game over. That's it, we lost, because the reader is not going to read the next paragraphs. So the first paragraph is the hook. You have to catch the reader's attention in the first paragraph. And how do we do the first paragraph? Let's see. A tip to do the first paragraph could be mentioning a little bit of what you are going to say in the first 3 paragraphs. A little bit, okay? But remember, start always from the general. Around the world there are lots of hundreds of animals which help in a way the ecosystem, the umbrella effect, and you start talking, and you start coming to Bolivia, coming to La Paz, or Oruro, and coming to the animal in the Quirquincho, and how this affects the ecosystem. You see, that is the way from general to something very specific. And what do you do in the conclusion? quite similar. As the points mentioned in the previously, that's okay. So you can do that. Mention points. Don't forget something very important. Don't forget your connectors. Let me give you some examples. Very good. Here I'm giving you some examples depending on what you want to say. Cohesion is similar to say connectors. To begin with, starting a point to continue with. Moreover, and what's more, if you want, what's more, add to your idea. One extra idea is similar to and, but and is so simple to say. Therefore expresses a result, you know that, right? And nevertheless expresses something similar to however. Depending on what you want to say, you are going to express the connector. But yes or yes, we need to use nice connectors in order to express our writings very well. Something important I have to say is probably since this is an argumentative essay, you need to accept a contrary point in the third composition, and you have to refute it in case it's necessary. You accept the point and you accept it, saying that's one way to look at it, but, and you give your point. I understand what you mean. You can accept something which goes against your paragraph. It's possible that it appears, because not everything we say is definite and people have to accept it. People have their opinion and they may refute you saying something which is true and you accept. Well, that's one way to look at it. And you write the statement accepting, but, and you refute. You turn to your convenience and to persuade the reader. So I guess this is it. I hope you can practice and write good essays. And well, that was it for today. And share please the video with other people that may need this. And thank you very much for watching this video. Bye bye, take care.